So your basic mathematical operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And just like you can operate with numbers, you can operate with functions. So if you see something like this, the f plus g of x, it's the same as saying the f of x plus the g of x. And if they give you two separate functions, here's the f of x, here's the g of x, you can just add those two together. All right, same thing goes for f minus g of x. It's the same as saying the f of x minus the g of x. Right here is fg of x, right? And if there's no operator in between, the operator that is assumed is multiplication. Okay, so this is really f times g of x. And you could take your f of x function and you can multiply it times your g of x function. And then this fourth one here is the division. F over g of x, you would take your f of x and you would write it on top of your g of x. Okay, now down at the bottom, we have our two what they call composite functions. Okay, composite. And there's a little O in between, right? It looks like fog and golf. But the way that we say this is we say the f of g of x. Okay, and then you have the g of f of x. And they're very different. So the one on top is the f of g of x, and you could write it like this, the f of g of x. The one on the bottom is the g of f of x, and you could write it the g of f of x. And what you would do for this top one here, the f of g of x, you're going to take your f of x, and instead of x, what you're doing is you're plugging in this g of x. Right there. Everywhere you see an x, you're going to plug the g function into the f function. Okay, and then if you see this one down here, the g of f of x, you're going to take the g of f of x. Well, instead of f of x, we're going to be plugging this thing in. Right here, right there. Okay, so those are called composite functions, f of g of x and g of f of x.